Hello and welcome. If you made it here, it's likely that, just like me, you felt at war, a silent war happening inside your own mind. For years, I lived in that war. I tried to control everything. I made lists, I built action plans, I visualized with effort, trying to force reality to bend to my desires. I believed confidence was something I had to build through force of thought, brick by brick. And the result? More anxiety, more frustration, more of that feeling of swimming against an invisible current. I looked at the universe and asked, what am I doing wrong? And the universe, in its deep silence, seemed to respond, you're doing too much. I had to completely lose control to finally understand what real trust is. I needed my plans to collapse so I could see the truth. The quantum secret of total trust isn't about believing harder. It isn't about thinking positively 24/7. It's about stopping the resistance. Today, I want to share with you the journey that took me from exhausting effort to powerful surrender. I want to show you how I stopped trying to create my life and started allowing it to reveal itself. What we're about to explore together is that trust is not a mental state. It's a physiological state. It's an electromagnetic signature. And when you learn to modulate that signature, reality has no choice but to respond. Forget everything you've learned about fighting for what you want. The battle you think you're fighting with the world is actually against your own resistance. And today, we're going to learn to put the weapons down. Our mind was designed to survive, and for the mind, survival means predicting, analyzing, and controlling. It hates the void. It hates the unknown. So when we desire something, a new relationship, more health, financial abundance, the mind goes into crisis management mode. It asks, but how will it happen? When will it happen? What if it doesn't happen? I lived in that how for a decade. I tried to predict the path, manipulate circumstances, guarantee the outcome. It's like holding water tightly in your hand. The harder you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. You're left with a tense hand and an empty one. Trust, true quantum trust, is the cupped hand, relaxed, open, ready to receive. The universe operates through laws of flow, not force. The quantum field, this ocean of energy and information from which everything is made, doesn't respond to your effort. It responds to your vibration. And what is effort? What is control? Vibrationally, it is a scream of I don't have. When you try to control, you're telling the field, I don't trust this will come, so I need to intervene. And because the field is a perfect mirror, it reflects back more situations where you feel you must intervene, more reasons not to trust. I remember being obsessed with how I'd get money for a project. I made spreadsheets, called people, lost sleep. My energy was contraction, fear, and of course, every door closed. The day I gave up, not from defeat, but from exhaustion. The day I looked at the sky and said, okay, I don't know how. I let go. If it's meant to be, show me. Something shifted. My body relaxed for the first time in months. I slept. And within 48 hours, a solution I could never have planned with my limited mind simply appeared. The rational mind wants to build the bridge. Quantum trust is knowing you only need to take the first step into the void, and the next piece of ground will appear beneath your feet. Control is the mental noise blocking you from hearing the universe's symphony. And to find trust, we first need to lower the volume of this noise. Does this make sense to you? Do you recognize this pattern of trying to control life through mental force? If you're ready to try a new path, the path of the relaxed, open hand, anchor that decision now. Comment below, I let go and I trust. Let the universe know you're ready. When I began studying quantum physics, not as an academic subject but as a user manual for reality, my mind exploded. What the pioneers of this science discovered over 100 years ago is that the material world isn't solid. At the most fundamental level, everything is energy. Everything is a soup of possibilities, the quantum field, the zero-point field. Think about that. It's not poetic metaphor, it's physics. Imagine you're in an infinite dark room, and inside that room are all possible versions of your life. The healthy version of you already exists there. The abundant version of you already exists. The version of you living in peace and joy is already a vibrational reality in the field. These versions don't need to be created from scratch. They need to be selected. So how do we select? Not with thought, with feeling, with frequency. I love the radio analogy. All radio stations, rock, classical, jazz, pop, are being broadcast around you right now. They coexist in the field. You don't need to create classical music, you just need to tune your radio, your body, to that frequency. For years, I wanted to tune into the abundance station, but my dial was stuck on scarcity. I thought about abundance, but I felt lack. I felt fear. I vibrated debt. The field doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you are. The problem isn't reality. Reality is fluid. The problem is trying to tune to a new frequency with your old identity. You can't create health while feeling sick. You can't attract love while feeling lonely. This is vibrational dissonance. Quantum courage is the courage to feel the emotion of the desired reality before it appears in the material world. This flips the entire game. The old reality says, I need to see it to believe it. The quantum reality says, you need to believe it to see it. And believing here is not mental, it's emotional, it's embodied. The field already contains everything. Your only job is to become vibrationally compatible with what you choose. So how do we change our vibration? How do we tune the radio? That takes us to the most powerful concept I've ever found: coherence. We emit an electromagnetic field at all times. Every thought generates an electrical signal in the brain, and every emotion generates a magnetic field in the heart. Institutes like HeartMath have studied this for decades. They've shown that the heart's magnetic field is thousands of times stronger than the brain's electric field. Your heart is your main transmitter to the quantum field. The problem is that we are incoherent most of the time. What is incoherence? When your thoughts say one thing and your emotions say another. Example, you look in the mirror and repeat the affirmation, I am abundant, money flows to me. That's the brain. But a second later, your heart tightens. You feel anxiety thinking about a bill due tomorrow. That's the heart. In that moment, you send a chaotic message to the universe, like pressing the accelerator and the brake at the same time. You burn energy and go nowhere. Quantum trust is coherence. And what is coherence? When your thoughts and feelings align. When what you think and what you feel become one. When you can think about your health and feel gratitude for your body before you heal. When you can think about your finances and feel the calm of security before the money arrives. This is what spiritual masters meant by feel it as if it's already done. It's not mental trickery, it's electromagnetic recalibration. When brain and heart align, your field becomes ordered, powerful, coherent. You send a clean signal to the quantum field, and the field, being a mirror, reorganizes reality around you. Manifestation stops being a struggle and becomes an echo. How do I practice this? I stop trying to convince my mind and start convincing my body. I sit in silence for 5 minutes. I don't ask for anything. I don't visualize anything complex. I simply place my hand over my heart and breathe slowly, generating gratitude. Gratitude for the air, for the sun,
for the chair supporting me. I expand that feeling until it floods my chest. In that state, I'm not asking, I am fulfillment. And when I am fulfillment, the universe can only bring me more reasons to feel grateful. Gratitude is the frequency of total trust. It's the language the universe understands without translation. If you choose to practice this tuning from now on, anchor that intention. Comment, I vibrate coherence. For a long time, I believed doubt was a thinking problem. I thought if I read more, learned more, the doubt would disappear. I was wrong. Doubt doesn't live in the mind. The conscious mind understands everything I'm saying right now. Doubt lives in the body. Your body is your subconscious in motion.
Think about it. How many times have you made a conscious decision? I'll start the diet. I'll stop worrying. And a few hours later, your body dragged you back to the old pattern. That happens because your body becomes chemically addicted to emotions of the past. If you lived in anxiety for 20 years, your body is addicted to cortisol and adrenaline. It becomes a program running automatically. So when you try to feel peace, the emotion of trust, your body goes into withdrawal. It says, where's my cortisol? Where's the danger? Something is wrong. And it generates thoughts of fear to drag you back to the emotional chemistry it recognizes. The body is the animal. The mind is the rider. And for most of my life, the animal was in charge. True quantum trust only emerges when you recondition the body, when you teach it physiologically what it feels like to already have what you desire. You must break the addiction to survival emotions and create a new addiction to elevated emotions, love, joy, gratitude. How? Through presence. When the old emotion, fear or doubt arises, and it will, your job isn't to fight it, repress it, or pretend it isn't there. Your job is to observe it. When the tightness in the chest appears, instead of reacting, scrolling, eating, complaining, I pause. I close my eyes. I breathe into the feeling. I welcome the fear and say, I see you. I know you're here, but you're just a program. You're the echo of a past that no longer exists. And now I choose differently. I don't try to change the feeling. I bring a new feeling into the room. I introduce gratitude. I introduce the sensation of safety. It's uncomfortable at first. The body resists. But every time you do this, you literally rewire your brain. You weaken the old fear-based neural connections and strengthen the new trust-based ones. You teach your body that it's safe to relax, safe to trust the invisible. Total trust is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to feel fear without becoming the fear. It's emotional mastery, choosing your frequency regardless of external circumstances. Silence and meditation are not escapes. They are training grounds where you teach your body to stop reacting to the past and start creating the future. This brings us to the final step, the hardest for the logical mind and the most liberating for the soul: surrender. For a long time, I confused surrender with giving up. I thought letting go meant passivity. I couldn't have been more wrong. Surrender is not inaction. It's the highest form of trust. It is the act of releasing the how and trusting that the infinite intelligence of the quantum field knows the way better than your limited mind. Imagine planting a seed. Your intention is the seed. Control is digging up the soil every day to check if it's sprouted. What does that do? It kills the process. Surrender is planting the seed, setting your intention with coherence, watering the soil, maintaining your elevated state, and trusting that nature knows what to do. You don't need to understand photosynthesis for the plant to grow. The universe knows the how. Your how is limited by your past. The universe's how is unlimited. When you surrender, when you stop obsessing about when and how, and focus solely on feeling the joy of the outcome already done, you get out of the way. You remove your resistance. I realized manifestation isn't about attracting what I want. It's about stopping the repulsion of what is already mine. We repel the good through doubt, control, impatience. Surrender is the physiological state of relaxation. It's the deep breath of, "It is done." When you reach that state, the quantum field receives the clearest signal possible. Creation is complete, and then the magic begins. Synchronicities accelerate. The right person calls. A surprising opportunity appears. Life begins to flow with you, not against you. You stop being the frantic rower and become the wind in the sail. Total trust is the silent point where your personal desire dissolves into universal will, where you understand there is no separation. You are not asking the universe for something. You are the universe experiencing the act of creation. To summarize everything, relaxation is the secret. The quantum secret of total trust is ultimately simple. It is to relax, to stop the internal war, to drop the oars, to breathe deeply and allow. Trust is not something you have. It's something you are. It is your natural state when you stop identifying with your body's fear programs. It's not about controlling your thoughts, but becoming the silent observer behind them. Not about forcing the future, but falling in love with the present moment. Not about fighting reality, but becoming coherent with the reality you choose. Today, I no longer try to control. I simply tune. When doubt appears, I slow down, breathe, and return to the frequency of my heart. I remind my body that it is safe. I discovered the universe was never ignoring me. It was waiting for me to stop yelling, so I could finally hear the answer it had been whispering all along. Relax. It's already yours. Everything you desire already exists. It's in the field, patiently waiting for you to stop resisting, to open your hand and receive. Total trust is the sigh of relief from someone who finally realized the battle is over, and it was always optional. If this message resonated with your heart, if you felt truth in it, I invite you to seal this new awareness right now. More than a comment, make it a declaration. Right below, "I am the reality I choose." Let the quantum field know you're online, coherent, and ready. And if you want to continue this journey with me, exploring the depths of your consciousness and the power to create your reality, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the field.